We're up here where agricultural land runoff is washing into Partridge Alley. You can see that the water's muddy and full of sediment. This runoff event is different than the previous runoff event where the water was flowing over snow and was pretty clear. You can see here that there's plenty of sediment moving with the stream through here. You can hear the energy that it has as it gurgles along. Now the ground isn't so hard frozen as it was, so hopefully what's going to happen is that the water will spread out into some of the soil as it's given a chance to slow down. And as the water slows down, it'll percolate out away from the channel, and that's where it will also be losing some of the sediment that we want to keep. It only took a few hundred yards for most of the sediment to fall out of the water. Here we can see a cleaner flow. As we walked down Partridge Alley towards where the draw leaves the property, we saw that less and less water was flowing down the channel. Here's another place where we put a log upstream of a big head cut, and then we put a couple really big logs below the head cut, and the purpose of that lower log is to stop the sediment that's eroding and start to regrade this stretch of lower Partridge Alley. And this one's working really well today. You can see that the head cut is eroding, and but all the material that is being eroded is piling up behind this log. So much so that it's filled it about halfway to the top of the log. It might fill it all the way over, but still the sediment there is going to be on a new slope, and we'll be able to try and plant something in there this year, and maybe it'll have a chance of staying. You can also notice that the flow going through there is percolating into all the sediment that it moved. So none of it's going over the log. It means that all the energy that water was carrying with it has been re-diverted and stopped, and then the water's moving down through the sediments. I'm going to go down a little farther and look if there's if the water pops up again down here a little ways. But since that water is all going to be filtered through sediment, it means that this is the end of sediment transport from up above. You can see that this water is clear and not carrying any sediment. Here we are at the bottom of Partridge Alley where it leaves the property. You can see that there's no flow. There hasn't been any flow through here. It would have washed the snow away. So all of the dirty brown muddy water that's flowing off the agricultural fields has been stopped by the erosion control logs up higher and filtered by the grass, and now it's underground and there's no sediment moving through here in a place where clearly some major sediment has moved in the past. Here's a road beside the native grass plantation, and you can see it's eroding today, carrying sediment along the water that's coming out of the field can move easily along the roads, and now it's flowing out into the field there. We might put in some little rubber stoppers or something, some baffles to keep the water from flowing down these roads. We're in the northern center pivot. Water's cloudy with sediment. And I'm about to pan over to where one of the tires from the pivot makes a furrow. The water's just charging down, and then it's head cutting on the edge of the head cutting over the edge of the rut made by the pivot and flowing on down.